Hi QA folks, today let's discuss what is software quality assurance, what is software testing, and what is the difference between them. So what is software testing? The formal definition is it's a set of measures aimed at checking the software for compliance with the requirements. In other words, it's a combination of activities aimed to check or to test that a software product, and it can be any software product, website, mobile app, desktop app, or whatever, that it satisfies end user needs and all functionalities work as expected. The benefits of testing include, but not limited to, discovering bugs, aka unexpected behaviors or issues in software testing they called bugs, before end users experience them, and with this reducing development costs by not losing customers because of those issues. So what do software QA engineers or test engineers do exactly? And here QA stands for quality assurance. Usually it's been truncated to just QA. So they make sure software products work as expected. They explore the software product, basically test it, and discover bugs, unexpected behaviors, and report them to development team so those issues can be fixed in advance before real end users face them. Now, in terms of activities, usually software testing includes requirements analysis. Basically, it means you need to understand what to test first, and requirements here means any document that describes what the software product should do. Then creating tests, aka test scenarios or test cases. So basically you should think how exactly you will test each functionality and write down each test in detailed steps in some test management system or document. So you should understand what to test, and then you should create test scenarios, how you are going to test it. Then after all those previous steps completed, usually you execute all created tests and mark each test as passed or failed. Along the way, if you see any unexpected behavior, you will report all found bugs. And usually those are being described in some bug tracking system. After that, you should provide some kind of test report, summary report of testing, how many bugs are found, what areas are tested, what needs to be tested more, and so on. And following up on bugs and retesting of bug fixes. So basically, when you report some bugs to developers and fix it, then they will give you a new build of the software so you can retest the fix. Overall workflow is the following. Developers build or implement a software product. QA engineers test the product to find any issues with it. Then QA engineers also report their findings, meaning bugs, to developers. Developers fix the issues and basically deploy a new release back to test engineers for another round of testing. And when everything is fixed and looks good, developers deploy software product to production environment where the end users can use it. And here by production environment, it means that when the product will become available for end users. It's also worth mentioning that testing activities are usually performed in a dedicated test environments where the product is available only to test engineers but not to the real customers. The goal one of the goals is to discover and fix all issues before real customers face them. And here all stand in quotes because it's basically the exhaustive testing is not possible, so you never will discover or find all bugs. You can just catch most of them or most critical ones or obvious ones. Now, going back to the topic, what is different between software quality assurance and software testing. So basically, while both are related to ensuring software quality, quality assurance refers to a broader process that includes the entire software development lifecycle to prevent defects by monitoring processes and standards, while software testing is a specific activity within QA, where the software product is actively executed to identify and report bugs and issues with the software product. Essentially, QA aims at to prevent problems from occurring, while testing focuses on finding them once they exist. And usually any position, regardless if it's called software QA engineer or software test engineer, will include both activities, QA and testing. It's always like that. So key points to remember: QA is proactive. It focuses on implemented correct processes and standards throughout development lifecycle to ensure quality is built in from the beginning, like for example performing code reviews, developers must write unit tests and so on, those kind of proactive activities. And testing is reactive by nature. It basically involves actively checking the software to identify defects and issues by running it, so basically by testing the product before it's been. Now, example of QA activities may include reviewing design documents, conducting code reviews, defining quality standards, and monitoring development process. And for testing activities as being reactive, it's executing prepared test cases, identifying bugs, reporting defects, and verifying functionality against requirements. So I hope it gives you an idea about the difference between them, but generally speaking, when people say first or the second, usually they refer to the same activities. And here is some practical example of what all of this is about. So as I said, software product or software can be any application. For example, this calculator is a software application, software product. How would you test this one? So what do you see first of all? You see all those buttons, right? So part of the scenarios will be of test scenarios, of test cases, of tests will be that you should click each of them and check that all of them works as expected, meaning that after click on numbers 1, 2, 3 and all of them one by one, the appropriate number will appear in this kind of display area on the top. The same goes with all other buttons, that all operation works. Divide, multiply, subtract, add, equals, dot, this view switcher from basic, scientific, and so on. And you will also need to, as I mentioned earlier, you will need to write down all of these scenarios to show as a proof of what exactly was tested. Like first scenario will be click on button 1. It will be first test, second, third. So all buttons one by one. Then separate test scenarios for each of the mathematical operation, divide, multiply, subtract, sum, equals. So these are very basic trivial ones, and then you will add more complicated ones. For example, if you perform few operations at once before clicking on equals, and so on and so on and so on. And basically all of your use cases or test scenarios that you can come up with. And again, there are some rules and processes in software testing that you should document some stuff, prepare some test reports and so on. And this is a really trivial example with calculator, but as I said, software testing or software product can be any product, can be a website, can be a Google Marketplace or App Store. So basically any product. For example, for Marketplace, instead of you will still need to test each and every button that you see on the website, for example, if it's a web page, website, Marketplace on the web. But besides that, there will be test scenarios for placing order, modifying order, canceling order, placing order with only one item, with few items, and so on. So you see a lot of different, you can come up with a lot of different test scenarios for different kind of products. So I hope it gives you a better idea of what all of this about. That's it for this video. See you in the next one.